What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's been 3 weeks to the day since my last video. I think it's 3 weeks to the day. Either that or it's this coming Friday. And I want to talk a little bit about that, especially how I titled that and some feedback I got. We're going to do some very minor wrenching on the Road King. There it is. And maybe a little bit on the Night Train. I wouldn't even call that wrenching. You'll see. So without further ado, let's get cracking, baby. Before we start, we are getting near the end of September. It's nice and cool outside. I've been bitching about the heat for the last few months, and I know everybody knows it's hot in the dang South in summer, but yeah, this year was brutal. Absolutely brutal. Anyway, let's get to it. Road King. Alright, so like I said in the last video, I said something about the video was titled "This Might Be My Last Ride," and most of you guys didn't say anything about that, but there were some people, as there always is, who had to make a big deal about, kind of sounding a little clickbaity. And sure it was, man. I mean, our job as Dance Monkey Dance YouTube people is to get your attention, right? By the way, all I'm doing is spark plugs, wires, and air filter on this. My Road King has sat here 3 weeks. Haven't been on it in 3 weeks, and it's covered in dust right now. Not from just sitting. I've had to do some drywall repair, and I cut the drywall not far from where the motorcycles were parked. So the Road King and the Night Train have a little layer of dust, and I may wash them today. I got some other stuff going on. Plugs don't look bad. The recommended replacement for plugs is 30,000 miles or 2 years, whichever comes first. I don't know when these things are changed. I did get the Screaming Eagle ones, and I know people are going to say, "Oh, that's a waste of money. You can get regular ones." Yeah, you're right. I could, but I didn't. And I get a little bit of a discount working at Hertz, so it wasn't that much of a difference anyway. We're gonna get back to it. I'm just gonna explain what I'm doing here. So the gap here is supposed to be between 38 and 43 thousandths. So yeah, 21 and 19. That's gonna give us 40, right? Yeah. Just to make sure we're at 40. Holy smokes! He said they should be pre-gapped. This is oh, you know what? It is. Okay, gap's good. All right, so back to the topic at hand. When I made that video, I didn't have a title. Like, I didn't know what to call it, right? But as I was editing it, I realized with the house going up on the market that could have very well been, my last coordinated ride with a group of friends. And so far, since I've filmed that, it has been. I'm not lying there. So a lot of you guys know that our house went on the market. I'm replacing wires here, but I'm going to put this there just as a placeholder. But getting the house ready to go on market was an extremely intense. Oh, am I going to replace wires? Holy smokes, that's intense, man. Dude, if I replace wires, I got to pretty much take the gas tank off. Holy shit. All right, maybe we're not doing wires. Anyway. And it's just been a lot. And our house listed 2 weeks ago. But prior to that, I had to make sure that a lot of little things that I'd left undone over the last several years, which, if you guys are anything like me, there's always these things that aren't pressing that you're like, oh, I'll get to it, but you never really do. And so I even though I'm old, I kept a mental, tally of what I needed to do, and it was always in the back of my mind, so I kind of knew. So that took a lot. We had a lot of stuff we needed to move around. I ended up buying a trailer because U-Haul won't rent us one. We got a hitch mounted on the back of the Jeep, but they won't rent a trailer to a Jeep with a soft top. I don't know why. Maybe they think everything's going to come flying at you. We went on the market, we put fresh mulch down everywhere. I've been making sure the grass stays mowed constantly, and, gravel down in some spots. And, we're in a decent area in Tampa. It's not a very expensive area right now, but it's a very quiet area. And so we've had just nonstop showings, right? So that means we all have to be out of the house, and the dog can't be in the house. My two daughters moved out and into an apartment together. So, I helped them move with the new trailer I bought. So I got some more use besides just, getting the house ready to sell stuff. You know, then we've gone to check out new areas. Well, we're not changing plug wires today. I have them, but we're not going to change them. That's insane. I'm not prepared to take the fuel tank off today just to change the wires. So we're going to leave these wires. Dang, man, that's really kind of depressing. Why do they do that? Why do they put them underneath there like that? Let's go to the other side and get the air filter going. All right, hey, if I'm overthinking that those wires and it doesn't really go under the tank, let me know. I'm open to whatever. But as of right now, they're just kind of sticking out there. Not a big fan. I don't know what to do with it if I don't reroute it under the tank. Maybe there's a solution there that I don't know about. Anyway, so our houses have been pretty popular in the market, and we've had a lot of showings. We had to be out of the house a whole lot. And as a matter of fact, our house was on the market for 2 days. It went under contract, and we were really impressed by that. And then, you know, the next day, this was all last week. The next day they canceled. So we're like, shit, man, all right. Full asking price, so we were kind of surprised. So that we put back on the market, we dropped our price some, and then, you know, it went back right under contract again with a cash offer, less than our second asking price, but because it was a cash offer, we didn't have, you know, closing costs associated with it. There were no seller concessions, and it was going to be a fast close. We felt pretty good about that. And next day, they canceled. Meanwhile, keep in mind that we're like making sure the house is like as perfect as we can get it. All right, supposedly this is a Screaming Eagle filter, which means I should be able to wash it. Looks pretty nasty. Maybe I'll get another filter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the Scream. Oh, hey, how about that? All right, well, that comes off just like that, I guess. I don't know how this goes. Oh, those two. Okay, those two are covered. Okay, now I know. No, it's just been busy, man. It's just been busy. And I've got I know this isn't like exhilarating content, but it's what I'm doing today. And then, you guys know I've talked about traffic a lot, right? Traffic has been like one of the main driving forces to just getting the hell out of Tampa. We don't like it here anymore because of that. You know, I had a couple more close calls on the way to work on my motorcycle and my car, and I actually vowed, it sounds like a supervillain or something, but I actually vowed like about 3 weeks ago that I'm never riding to work again on my motorcycle during the week. And that's an important distinction because during the week is when it's more crowded, and it's just the highway acrobatics that people try to do on the road. It's just not safe. There was one day in particular I'm in my car, and you know, several times on both the Veterans Expressway, which is always kind of dangerous, and Courtney Campbell, which is also kind of dangerous. Several times, like, people squeezed in between me and the car, either in front of me or behind me, in the tightest gap. And we're doing 70, 75 miles an hour. Just how tight it was. I'm like, man, you know, people do that when you're on your bike too. I felt like, you know what, one of these, this is how we have accidents every day. Every city has accidents every day. I see accidents almost daily. And I'm not saying I'm going to be immune to that, you know, if I move somewhere else. Boy, that's dirty. That's really dirty in there. I don't know if you guys can see in there or not, but it's kind of embarrassing. Anyway, I'm going to go wash this. Dry type element, do not oil. Okay, so let's go wash this. Let's go wash this in the sink. This is dirty. I've got oil on there. Yeah, we'll see you in there. All right, slight update. I decided not to film while I was washing the air filter. And I may just get a new air filter because I've got it in there with some Dawn dish detergent and hot water soaking. But apparently it's been a long time since that thing's been cleaned. It's not really doing a whole lot. It is a dry element, so I can't use like the K&N spray stuff. So I'm probably just going to buy a new element. But update on the spark plug wires. I was curious because when I was back in the shop the other day, one of the techs said something about, we don't use the Screaming Eagle wires, it doesn't do anything for you. So I'm like, well, while I'm in here, let me research. Apparently, the difference between 8mm and 10mm is nothing. There's no more current going to the spark plugs. And if you're running a Delphi EFI system, it could cause something to go wrong in the ions. I don't know. I just watched the video right now in this little break on it. So I'm actually going to return those wires anyway. And we're probably just going to buy a new air filter element to put on the Road King. And then pay better attention to it next time to keep that thing clean instead of letting it go. Because I've run it, you know, since last November, and I've put 8,000 miles on the motorcycle. Who knows how long before that was clean? So it might just be beyond repair. I'm going to leave that filter element soaking for a little bit, and then I'm going to rinse it off and let it dry. I am going to put it back on just in case. Maybe when it dries, it cleans a little better. I don't know. But then we'll see you in a little bit when I start doing a little something on the night train. Little something. Not a big deal. You can see here the dust. Don't worry, it'll be washed. You can see the dust on both motorcycles here from where I cut some drywall. I cut it right here, and I thought that we'd get some rain to wash that away, but we haven't had any rain in a while. So let's get going with a little bit that I'm going to do on the night train. Very minor, but I want to talk about it. I wanted to make sure to record this next part with the little garage fan going to be a distraction. Anyway, this video does have a sponsor, and it took me a while to get to it, but a company called JOYROOM reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try one of their phone mounts. You guys know I use another phone mount for our other two motorcycles, and I wasn't going to go with that route on the night train because I don't know if people wanted, you know, the wires going through there and all that. But I thought this was going to be a great idea for the winter of the night train. Sure, I said, sure, send me your phone mount, and we'll put this on this bike here. So whoever wins the night train, that's coming up soon, by the way. As of this morning, there's only 19 stickers left. So whoever wins this can have something to put their phone on if they're using that for navigation, to get out of town, to get back to wherever they're going. I'd never heard of JOYROOM, I'm going to be completely honest with you. So when they reached out, I looked it over, I saw it, it looked pretty quality. Let's go over the contents of the package. So inside, I don't need this box. Inside, you've got the mount itself, and we're going to put it on video here. And it comes with this little, here, it's pretty robotic looking, and it comes with, you know, this collar inside. Like a lot of phone mounts, you know, if that doesn't fit, pretty smart. They thought of a lot of stuff here. I gotta get them out. It actually comes with three other, one, two, that's big, that's a big boy. Three, it's a little boy. Three other collars to make sure it's gonna fit your handlebars right. Or if you wanna mount it to the mirror, for whatever reason, you can do that. So we're going to mount that onto the night train. It doesn't look too complex. We're going to make sure I have the right diameter collar on. We're going to go for a ride, see how I like it, and then I'll give you guys my feedback on the mount in general. And whoever gets the night train, that mount is yours to keep. It's going to be on the night train. If you don't want it, you can just take it off. It's not going to be that hard. So with that, let's get to the installation of the JOYROOM phone mount. So this mount comes with a proprietary tool. It comes with two of them, and it has little key rings. The only way you can get these is with that proprietary tool, which is kind of cool in that, you know, nobody's going to steal your mount, because it is a $75 mount, $76 mount as of right now. We're going to take this thing off here. Now what I don't like about that is if you lose that proprietary little thing, you're going to have to order another one. But my recommendation there is keep track of it. It comes with two, so put one somewhere safe, put another one on your keychain, whatever. Put it in your saddle bag, your fork bag, whatever you got. All right, let's figure out how we're going to want this thing. So because it's on a ball type mount, it doesn't really matter, I think, how you put this on. We're going to stick this on right here. These are standard 1-inch bars, you know, for Harley. It looks like that's going to be just fine. Take this bad boy under the bar here. I don't want it to go on the wire, so here we go. I actually like how this mounts, to be honest with you. The collar doesn't have to fit around exactly perfectly because it's going to pinch together with this bolt. And I don't like how it's angled yet, but we got movement room. See all this room we got for movement? Hey, there we go. All right, we're getting our pinch down now. JOYROOM advertises that the mount is equipped with different silicon, whatever, for vibration dampening, which is huge when you're on a motorcycle. I've been an advocate for vibration dampening mounts since I first heard of them a couple of years ago. All right, so let's see. Oh, I like that. We're going to turn this around. This is going to be the top. We'll have the JOYROOM showing. I'm going to leave this like this. We're going to go over to the other little nut. This proprietary wrench has two different diameters on it. Let's tighten this thing up. I think this is about where I want it. We're going to use that while I'm riding. Yeah, so this is going to tighten it up really nicely. Really, really nicely. All right, now that ain't going nowhere now. She is nice and tight, boys. We like them tight, don't we? I do happen to have my phone with me, so let's try her out. Okay, there's a release button on the back. That's going to let that go out. All right, I might have done that a little too. Okay, push that back in. I don't think it's going anywhere. This looks pretty good. You've got, yeah, this ain't going nowhere, man. This is good. This is good. So you can see it's mounted up pretty securely. I mean, we're going to go on a ride and see how well that holds. I don't think it's going to slip out from anywhere. I do recommend you having a case on your phone anyway. It's not that. So pull this up. Both of those go together. Push the button in the back. That's going to release those. Boom, boom. Your phone's off. Actually a pretty slick design. Let's go for a ride here in a little bit. All right, from back here, it does stick up pretty far. But again, if you don't like it, take it off. I'm going to obviously include the little wrenches, but at least while you're riding this thing back home, you'll have something that you can put on. You can put your phone in while you're riding. Or if you wanted to put it up against the, make it run parallel to the bars, do that. Something that's going to hide it a little bit more. Whatever you want to do. The world is your oyster. Or in this case, the night train. Now, I did talk a little bit earlier about how I hadn't been on my bike in 3 weeks, but I have ridden the wife's bike twice. If I never mentioned it before, that's a very fun motorcycle to ride. The 96-inch Dyna motor is not counterbalanced like the B motor on the night train, so when you get on it, it rips. I mean, for a 96-inch, 13-year-old motorcycle, she rips. But why did I ride my wife's motorcycle? Well, we had some warranty work done. So when we bought the motorcycle back in March, we knew it had the stereotypical, hey, the starter skips every now and then problem that some of these motorcycles had. So we bought warranty, and I waited a few months, let the warranty kick in, and I took it in. Sure enough, man, the starter teeth were all chipped, which caused the ring gear to be chipped. It was causing a whole lot of noise. Sometimes when you tried to start it, you could hear it. It was kind of annoying. And I know all you Harley haters out there are gonna just can't wait to say something. But the bike has 40,000 miles on it. I mean, it's a mechanical thing, so whatever. So for my $50 deductible, we got Screaming Eagle. We got a new starter. We got Screaming Eagle clutch plates, new clutch basket, new ring gear, and a Screaming Eagle compensator. Now that doesn't really matter, for a regular 96-inch motor, but now it is set up. If I wanted to one day put a 110 kit in here, I don't have to worry about a clutch and a compensator. So, of course, that's got my old brain thinking, oh, put a 110. I mentioned to the wife, she's like, oh, I don't need that much power. She'll learn. You always need that much power, always. I'm going to go change. I've got another showing this afternoon, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the house thing. But I'm going to go change. We're going to take the night train for a ride, check out that foam mount. And it'd be nice just to get out because it's overcast. There's a little bit of coolness in the air now that we're getting close to official fall. So we'll see how. Oh, baby. Let's get on down the road, man. God, I'm going to miss it. Look how dusty. I can't wait to wash this thing. Yeah. Giveaway is coming to an end, man. Got about 12 days left until the giveaway is over. Drawing on October 6th. 19 stickers left as of today. I think I'm going to loosen up this phone mount and angle it backward a little bit. I don't like how straight up and down it is. Aside from taking my wife's bike to Bert's and bringing it home, I have not pleasure ridden a motorcycle in, it'll be 4 weeks. Well, 3 weeks and 2 days. It's not because I'm not interested in motorcycles anymore, although we'll talk about the impact that working at a dealership has had in my motorcycle enthusiasm. It's not all negative. It might even sound counterintuitive before I really get a chance to explain it. I've had a lot of people ask me since we started talking about moving. I get the people have questions, but we're talking about like the Daytona area, right? I'll say, hey, are you still going to work at Birds?
Man, I really want to be nice, but are you familiar with the geography of Florida, like in the least? They say there are no such things as stupid questions, but come on, man. Let's use a little bit of common sense. It's like 3 hours away from here. I'm not going to commute 3 hours to go to work. So yeah, I'm going to, when we sell our house and move, I'm not going to be working at Burt's anymore. It's just, it is how it is. What am I going to do? I don't know. Oh, God, that feels good. Yeah, baby. I mean, she doesn't have a whole lot of rocket ship get up and go to her, being a 96-inch B-motor Softail, but it just feels good. And yeah, I've got my professional riding pants on. These are the Professional Florida Edition riding pants. If you guys don't live here, you don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm going to angle this back a little bit when I get wherever it is I'm going. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm just going out for a little spin. I still, being the inventory manager up at Birds, I'm some days I'm moving 20, 30 motorcycles a day. Not always any sort of great distance, but still the act of getting on, taking off kickstand, moving, slight movements, 30-point turns to get them in the exact spot you want to put them, yada, yada, yada. It's tiring, man. But that's not the whole reason. It's not the whole reason why I haven't ridden much. Like I was pining on about, whatever, earlier. We've just been, it's seriously, today is the first day that I've had, like, off. I don't know, 5 weeks, 4 weeks. And I think the last day that I had, like, really off was when I went on that ride on the last video. It's always been getting the house ready. And then today I'm thinking to myself, you got a day off. No showings. We're under contract. I'm going to talk about that. No showings. You can take your time, record this video, edit it up. Sure as shit, we get a show. Well, we keep having to cancel showing requests. I'll explain that in a second. And the realtor called me off one that's supposed to be 4 o'clock this afternoon, and she said, hey, these people are pretty adamant that they want to look at the house even though it's under contract, because in case they want to put in a backup offer. I'm like, all right. So my wife, bless her, she's been making sure the house has been ready every single day the last couple weeks to be shown. And today she didn't. We're not expecting it. So I need to, which, the responsibility falls on me as well. But she's been primarily taking care of that for us. It's just how it's been. And then we had an offer on Sunday night. We went through it on Monday and we accepted the offer. It was for the full asking price. And then the very next day they canceled. And, they have the inspection period, which their inspection period was only 5 days. The very next day they canceled. They didn't even have any money in earnest deposit yet. I feel like I did talk about this earlier, so we'll figure out which of these two iterations of the story I'm going to publish. Okay, so then we lower the price about 4%, dropped it down, and we had a lot more showings requested. This was last week. So wife and I, me, the wife, the grandson, and our dog decided, with all these showings, we're just going to take off for the day. So we took, the 4 of us, me, wife, grandson, dog, and we drove over to the East Coast. Because as of right now, guys, we still don't 100% know where we are going to live. We don't know. One of the folks that I'm mutuals with on Instagram, Ocean Glider 1, her and her lady are cool chicks. They're always out riding around doing their thing. And she said, hey, take a look at Sebastian. I've never heard of it. So I'm like, okay, I look over there. Then other people are reaching out too, saying, oh, you guys were looking at Sebastian? Well, we're a little bit north there. And so I decided, you know what? Let's look at Melbourne and Palm Bay. So we did that last Friday. And we did exclude those. While they're nowhere near as busy as Tampa. While they're nowhere near as populated and large as Tampa, it felt just as busy. And we were going to get vibes on places, and they didn't really have a vibe. It just felt like they existed. So I'm like, we're going to trade, one large traffic problem in for another small one. So we said no, and we decided, hey, let's go ahead and head back home. And then I said, hey, all right. So we had to pull over, not for any legal reasons. My air crew wings over here, I don't know if you guys can see that. Sometimes I grab a hold of this cord and pulls it out. So I had to had to reset everything. So I think I left off talking about Sebastian and anyway, Vero Beach. So we fell in love with Vero Beach, and we found a lot more house to rent for the dollar there than any of the other places that we had been to, and they seemed to be in, a pretty decent supply. We came home, Highway 60, so we're thinking, okay, so now we have two spots, Vero Beach and the DeLand-ish area, which is close-ish to Daytona. And I get home and we start talking. I'm looking at the maps and I'm like, well, there's not really any motorcycle roads near Vero Beach, which I hate to make a whole family living decision based off motorcycle roads, but being that we're motorcycle people, it is kind of an important thing. While over in DeLand, there's not only are we very close to Daytona, which is a beach we already love, but there's so many back highways over there. It's pretty prime. So on the way back home, the realtor calls us, and there's like 3 people interested in the house. It had just gone back on the market like that day, right? And one of them was a cash offer, and it was lower than our asking price, but we accepted it because the difference in net back to us wasn't going to be that great. We felt really good about it. We accepted that. Well, we actually countered the offer a little bit higher, and they came back and met us in the middle, and we accepted it. And that was on Saturday morning, all that went down. And then Sunday, after they scheduled their inspection, they canceled again. So now, and this is, as soon as I get off work on Sunday at 4, I'm back home. I'm going to repair some stuff that was going on with a vent flashing on the roof, and the wife was covering up some paint spots. Well, I mean, like I said, man, every day, every moment that we have off the last few weeks has just been consuming. It's been consumed with getting this house ready to sell and selling. And my wife is taking this very badly, or very poorly. All these going under contract and canceling, and every time we're off contract or on contract, it stops other people from being able to come look at the house. And it's just been a big headache. So now, when the realtor called to let us know that the cash offer had canceled, she said, "Hey, one of the other offers since Friday has been very adamant that they want the house, and the agent has been following up with me, agent to agent all weekend, just following up, seeing if the contract was still in place." So sure enough, they immediately put in another offer. They were our backup offer. They actually came off of their requested seller concessions. So that was Sunday night. We're still under contract. Today's Tuesday. They have a 10-day window inspection period. They put their escrow money in yesterday. So these people seem pretty serious, but having been under contract twice now and both of them canceling within a day, we don't trust them. They have 10 days to cancel without batting an eye. So we don't trust them. And that puts us in a real bind. We have to make plans for our family, and I can't make plans. Both of our employers are asking us, when's your house selling? Because we told them, trying to be upfront a little bit, hey, we're selling. My wife was in on the interview for her replacement. Why do people go 30 miles an hour through here? Jesus Christ, man. And not because they're trying to get rid of us, that their businesses or, her school district, whatever, that's business. They're just trying to make plans for their future too. I get it. And it's hard to commit to anything. So right now our current closing date is October 25th. And now we both agree that the land is where we want to go. So that's the area that we're targeting. And so between now and the time, once the inspection period ends, which is like next Wednesday, next Thursday, then I'll feel pretty confident that that's what we're going to do. And if they back out at that point, we get their escrow money. So that'll at least, help us get through a couple of months, just in case people back out while we're still waiting. I didn't mean to ramble so much. I mean, I haven't made a video. I haven't put out a video in 3 weeks. I haven't recorded for a video in 4 weeks. So, I guess just a lot going on, a whole lot going on. And like I said, it's been consuming. We get home at night. And yeah, if some of you guys are my Facebook friend, don't go a little crazy at me on Facebook. I accepted a bunch of people last year, and while I don't regret it necessarily, it just friends of friends start seeing, hey, this guy's this friend, I can add him. I really don't want to be friends with a bunch of people I don't know. It's not personal. Anyway, some of you guys see me. I've been talking about TV shows, and yeah, I've been kind of unwinding a little bit at night the past, I don't know, 3 weeks watching some TV, which is something I don't normally do, but I've been so dog-ass tired. I haven't felt like recording. I haven't felt like editing. I've just been tired, and I've just wanted to sit there for a couple hours at night with my wife and grandson, eat some popcorn or ice cream, and then call it a day. You know what I mean? I'm not giving up YouTube. I know I had a couple people ask me that. No, I love making videos. I love riding motorcycles. I love making the content. I cannot promise consistency over the next few weeks because of all the stuff that we have going on. Especially as we get down to the last couple of weeks as we're looking for a house and trying to get moving. Recording and editing are going to take a back seat to those priorities, and I'm sure most of you guys can understand. I mean, I am a court jester putting this stuff on the internet, but I've got to prioritize my life, and a lot of you guys are going to understand that. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this little jaunt throughout the backcountry of North Hillsborough County. This is about what I expect in DeLand, all over the place about. And I do like the mount. The mount works out pretty good. I've been up to speed a little bit. I've definitely been on some bumps, and it doesn't look like this thing is wavering at all. I did adjust this backwards a little bit. So check out JOYROOM. I'll have their Amazon link down below. If you're in the market for a phone mount and don't want some of the ones that other people have, give them a shot, man. I think it's a good alternative. I think with that, instead of sitting in my room or in front of my patina shed, we're going to call it quits here. I appreciate you coming along for this video and all videos. I've never ended on a turn. Until next time, we'll see you later.